asked me about that, and I'm just going to show you. I'm going to give you a little tour of my driveway. I know I did that a little bit last time, but you can see my car. Yeah, I live in my car. You can see my house back there, and you can see the trailer right back there. But yeah, I'm just going to be walking around my property, and yeah, it's quite sizable, and that's one of the reasons why I moved to Florida. But it also gave me a lot of opportunity as far as saving money and being thrifty and learning how to kind of handle my own money. And my wife really helped out with that. She's good with money. So we started looking around for houses. Something like this, however, this is about almost 3,000 square feet. I have almost an acre of land, and I pay a little bit over $3,000 in property tax. It's just an absolute night and day difference what you get here versus what you get anywhere else. Now, I know a lot of parts of Florida, they are a bit more expensive if you get closer to the coasts. So I'm in Central Florida, and I'm in a really quiet neighborhood. And I think I'm the loudest thing here. I mean, I hope my neighbors aren't looking through their windows trying to see why I'm talking to myself. But it's an extremely quiet neighborhood. It has zero crime. And when I'm talking about zero, like within the past 2 years, there's been nothing. And not even, like a parking ticket. But, well, I mean, parking ticket, look, yeah, who's gonna get a parking ticket here? Heat in an air-conditioned house that I own for next to nothing. But as I go into my backyard, again, this is all pretty open. As I go into my backyard, another thing I like about Florida is that me and my wife, I've been married for about 3 years and change, and we like to take cruises. So we like to go on a lot of cruises, and we like to travel and all that stuff. Like we're pretty old at heart, not too much of a party guy. But in Florida, there's a lot of cruise ports, and all the time, like every single time we needed to go to a cruise, we needed to take a flight down to Florida. I mean, there are cruises from New Jersey, but they're not very good. And if you want to go as far as, I don't know, the Caribbean, that's an extra 2 days. And those 2 days going back are just kind of soul-sucking, and it gets cold and windy. So we'd rather have everything here. It's cheaper here anyway. You get a Florida residence rate. And yeah, I mean, we can cruise more. We can go on vacations more. We're about 40 minutes away from Orlando International Airport, which is just a hub to go anywhere. This is sort of rural-ish. It is like a very, very small town environment, but it's not in the middle of nowhere. We are less than 10 minutes away from a major supermarket. There's Home Depot, there's Harbor Freight, there's a major town basically 15 minutes away, and everything's available. And I mean, I'm walking down my driveway, and look, that's one end of my driveway, and I may be like a quarter in, and it goes all the way out there and to the back of my house. I work online. I work from home, and I wanted a place that I could really sort of relax in, because one of the biggest things I was doing is I was burning out. So I was working maybe 14, 16-hour days. But yeah, this house has an office, it has a garage where I can work, and it's extremely quiet. I mean, if there's a car coming, there's a car over there, and like every single car you see, you either know who it is, or you're like a little suspicious, like, oh, who's that? But there's no one here to cause trouble. And yeah, I just love how tranquil it is. I'm not a party guy, and I don't miss the city at all. I do miss, being closer to my family, who is still in New Jersey, but maybe I can convince them to come out here. Another thing about Florida that I like, especially for my car enthusiast viewers, and most of you should be car enthusiasts because this is like a car channel, even though I vlog a ton about crap. Florida has no state car inspections, which means that you could drive anything you want. And driving anything you want, I mean, yeah, you do get the cars that are like barely put together with duct tape and string, but there are really interesting swaps out here. There are things that probably aren't necessarily legal, or like just on the cusp of being legal. But for a car guy, this is where you want to be. All the roads here, they're very well maintained, but they're flat. So there's not a lot of turns. However, if you go to the swamp, and I think when I get a more interesting car, other than my Mercedes, if you get a more interesting car, there are some swamp roads. There are some like roads by the Everglades that a lot of motorcycle guys, they swear by. So there's really good cruising roads. There are some twisties in Florida, so I am going to be doing maybe 1 or 2 videos about finding the best roads in Florida. But this isn't California, this isn't going to be LA, so you have to take that into account. I mean, it wasn't really a big deal for me because 3 hours north is the Tail of the Dragon, so I can always make a trip out there. There's a lot of car culture out here. There's a lot of really cool car guys. There's actually a lot of racetracks out here. So if I ever want to do an actual race event, there's like motorsports parks, for days. And yeah, I mean, the car culture is very, very strong. I like that I can buy cars cheaply here. I can insure them cheaply. Like, insurance is way cheaper than New Jersey. And I can live like a house like this. Man, in New Jersey, it'd probably be closer to like $1 million, and I'm not even joking about that. A house like this would be just unattainable for somebody in my price bracket. But yet, it's here, and I'm just very grateful. Yesterday, me and my wife went to Disney World. You can just go to Disney World. We got a yearly pass because we're Florida residents, and it's like, I'm not gonna say it's super cheap, but it's affordable, and it pays for itself if you go twice.